Okay, this is a video to show a repair for a vinyl jam liner. Now this jam liner has what's known as the block and tackle balance system. And what had happened was, what I have had happen is I've had these locking cams break because they're made of plastic. And when you take a window out, if this doesn't lock up properly, the whole piece gets rocketed forward and it can crack the plastic. But on this particular one, what happened instead was the spring broke. So this really needs a new spring. Now, the spring force is calibrated to the weight of the window. So this one was a so-called 27. I'm not sure what the units are. Now what I was able to do is I replaced it by putting in two 14s. The reason I had two 14s was because I had to replace one of these, a pair of windows that were in the basement that had rotted. And I just took the windows and put them in the garage. Now I've been able to salvage some of the parts from some of the various mechanisms, and the pulley system is one. So this was a smaller window, and it was a so-called 14F. And what happened was these springs, and those were about exactly half the size of this 27. So in this case, I've taken two of these springs and I've just put them in series to make basically a 28, but it's close enough. Now this was the first time I had to place a spring, and when you pull on the spring to do it, you are putting a lot of force on this channel. And I did kink it. You can see here. I was holding it one hand on this end. I might have had the other end braced against something, and I was pulling on the spring. In any case, I managed to put too much buckling force on this channel, and I kinked it. Now, because it's aluminum, I was able to straighten it out again. And then the next time I extended the spring, I was very careful not to hold on to this other end, to only pull the spring away from the other contact point, only holding onto the channel at the low end, so that I wasn't using that as a brace. So it did not buckle. Once it's on, it can resist the buckling. But while you are putting it in, you can apply a lot of other force, which is not just along the line. Along the line, it'll show a lot of strength. In the perpendicular direction, not so much. Okay, now I'm just going to slide this back in the channel here. Okay, I've kind of shown one of these on another video. Once you've got it in this configuration, then you have the locking cam in the right position. And the way to get it in the right position is just by comparing it to the other one, and that'll show you how it's going to go. So what's going to happen is I'm going to slide this in. I'm going to slide it in such a way that the locking cam is going to go in the same way that one is, which is going to be like this. Okay, and I'm going to hit pause here just because I want to use two hands. Okay, I've just started it. I just managed to get it in there now. It does take a little bit of wrangling, because when you align the locking cam in, then the track is originally offset, and you have to use a tool while gripping the track and forcing this against the spring pressure enough to get it in, and then bring the track in. Once it's in like this, then the whole unit will slide. Okay. Once you slide it down, you can see I'm sliding it in. Now I'm going to hit pause again just so I can slide it more easily with two hands. Now, as you're sliding it in towards the end, you want to make sure that you have this clip in the right orientation to lock on there. And a clip, that's another piece that you can salvage from other units, because that's the same on all of them. Okay, I'm going to hit pause, then slide it in the final piece. Okay, I've slid it all the way in. And now you can see that there's the locking cam. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do is now pull the locking cam down and put it into a rotate it so it locks, because in this position I won't be able to get the window in there. See, I need to have it down almost as far as this, because this is the distance more or less that you pull it when you remove the window. As I do that, it's going to be stretching that spring quite a bit. But here now, the locking channel, it's really held in the vinyl, so that provides it with a lot of additional strength. The aluminum itself is not really so strong, so you want to be careful with it when it's outside of the track. Now, the way that this works is you want to put something like a screwdriver into this position and force it down. Okay, I'm not going to do it with just the one hand, and I think I might need a different screwdriver because that blade's a little bit too big. I'll get the right one. Okay, I was able to slide that down further, not as far as I wanted to, but I'm not going to put it any further. The way that you do this is with the screwdriver. If you push like on it like that, you can free up the cam. But then when you have it in the position that you want to rotate the screwdriver this way to force the teeth to come out this way, which will cause them to dig in when it pulls back. The key is you never want to pull out the screwdriver completely unless you're sure that the teeth have bit into it, because by pulling them out, then this thing can just rocket here and it might break. Okay? I think that I have this down far enough so that when I put the window in and rotate the window, that the window operation and the weight of the window can be used to move this where it wants to go, because I don't want to put it under too much tension with my screwdriver, no more than I have to. Okay? So that's it for this.